Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Future Considerations, the show where we debate things in sports that could have happened. My name is Julian. This week I'm with Mo Khan. How you doing, my man?
I'm well, my man.
My man here with me this week. This time we're going to talk about a time when Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook were on the same team. That's a thing that actually happened. Now we know James Harden is an MVP in Houston, Russell Westbrook is alone in OKC with Paul George, and Kevin Durant is winning titles in Golden State. But what if all three of those players stayed together? Would they have won titles? How great would their legacy have been? We'll debate all these things.
Can't get enough sports in your life? And be sure to head over to Mojo Travels to see some great ways to satisfy both your soccer and travel obsessions with our list of the top 10 cities football fanatics need to visit. Click the link below.
So first question, how many titles does OKC win with the trio? Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook. I see two in their future. I think the fact that they were able to get to an NBA Finals was huge for their development, and the fact that the year before, Kevin Durant obviously up and left, they were able to get to a Western Conference Finals. That shows me that that core, even if Russell Westbrook wants the ball, even if Kevin Durant wants the ball, and even if James Harden, of course, these are three ball-dominant guys. They're going to want the ball. They're going to find a way to make that work. You get some role players around them. There's no reason why they can't have at least two titles.
One title. That's all they would win, because remember, Julian, that time of basketball, there was the Spurs who were ferocious. The Heat were the alpha males of the NBA. Just think about that, though. When they played the NBA Finals, they lost in 6 games. They were not on the same level as the Miami Heat. And look, they had Serge Ibaka on that team, but let's not forget the bench play. Derek Fisher, who was well past his prime, Cole Aldridge. These guys were not ready for primetime basketball. That's why I think in that era, going to the present moment, one NBA tells what they would have won at that time.
You don't think that, Sam Presti, the GM there, would have, at least filled in a couple other guys on that bench?
But remember the cap space, though. That's the reason why they traded James Harden away, because they did not have the cap space to keep these guys in place. If they did, maybe they win 2, but I think 1 for sure, though.
Okay, fine. Let's go to our next point. Does Oklahoma City end up as great as the Golden State Warriors? Do you want to take this one first?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, that era of basketball with those 3 guys was the pre-Golden State Warriors of fun and gun. We shoot threes at will here. Now, let's not forget, though, Scott Brooks, who was the head coach at that time, was the innovator. They were running and gunning offense out there, and they were putting points up there. You had the alpha male and Kevin Durant. You had Russell Westbrook, who was going from 0 to 200 in 2 steps or less, attacking the rim. And James Harden, who, by the way, in his last year in OKC, shot a career at 49%. Albeit only started 2 games that year. So in reality, yes, I think they would have been better.
They're a fun team. They would have been a really fun team to watch if they had stayed together, but not nearly as fun as Golden State. You know why? Because Golden State really hammered home the fact that 3 is better than 2. And Steph Curry is the greatest shooter we've ever seen. Klay Thompson is a guy who can shoot the daylights out of anything. And I know Kevin Durant is the best scorer of our generation, but the fact that Golden State has accumulated all the scores that they have in the way that they're doing it in a way that no one has ever seen before, and winning games at a clip that no one else has really seen in this league. So I don't know if, as good as OKC is, it would not have been as revolutionary as the Golden State Warriors.
Matchup-wise, OKC had more problems because of the length that they had going in all 3 positions.
All right, let's get to our final point here. Do they even come close to the Chicago Bulls of the 1990s? In particular, the team with the 72-win season.
Hells no. No.
Straight up.
No.
Hells no.
Because look at that Bulls team. You had Rodman, Jordan, and Pippen, okay?
Yeah.
And their bench was phenomenal. No one talks about their bench. And they had a mission. If you recall, in the 94-95 season, Game 6, Orlando Magic took out Jordan and the Bulls on the home court in Chicago. That embarrassed Jordan. He used that as a motivational tool to get back to where he was. And quite frankly, at the end of the day, the Bulls were the better team. There's no way that they would equal to the Bulls' level of success during that time.
Because of the fact that OKC wouldn't match the level of the Golden State Warriors in my mind, there's no way they match the level of the Chicago Bulls of the 90s as well. And look, I get it. I'm a young millennial. I was not around when Michael Jordan was killing it in the 90s, and I look at LeBron James as one of the greatest ever, all of that jazz and all that.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma City, they would have been the kings of, the new school, and everyone would have appreciated them, and then we'd all be ragging about how, if they were playing in the, the old era, they'd be very different and blah, blah, blah. I would have just kind of driven me nuts.
Julian, Pippen would have locked down Durant, Jordan would have taken out Russ, and Harden would have been...
You don't think Jordan would have been on Kevin?
No, because Pippen had the length to play Kevin Durant. Fair. But not only that, you have Rodman, who's the X factor, and quite frankly, he had that mental edge over players try and get that rebound in their favor.
That's fair. And I also just think that the Golden State Warriors of today would be a better matchup for the Chicago
No,
Bulls
they
anyway.
wouldn't, because they would still roll through the Warriors now.
I don't know about that.
Let's not forget.
Here's the thing, like I don't know, like Chicago. Obviously, they're a great team. They have the shooters, but Golden State, man, they could shoot the daylights out of anybody, man.
But they would not allow that to happen with that length of Jordan and Pippen. They
You don't think Draymond and Pippen are going at each other?
It would be Rodman against Draymond. Think about that. Rodman, Draymond, Pippen.
Rodman, Draymond.
And Pippen and Jordan would take out the length of Clay and all those guys and make it a point to make sure they get no clear shots on net.
And then you have Steve Kerr, who coaches Golden State, deciding whether he should be playing or not.
We're
pretty much out of time here. We managed to stay on time. We managed to not go completely overboard. So it's not like when Ash is here, he likes to go extra time.
Overtime.
Overtime, indeed. But Mo, thank you very much for joining us on this week's show. If you have any more suggestions for different sports topics we could talk about on future considerations, write them down in the questions below. For Mo, I'm Julian. Thank you very much for joining us on this week's episode of Future Considerations. We'll see you all next time.